there, welcome back to Building the Boys. It's time for our weekly catch-up. It's been a week. it's been a long week, but a good one. So we had the second part of the Lancaster bomb. That was very exciting. So we built our second part of the Lancaster. Now, the interesting thing about that one is it is going to separate the men from the boys, if you will. I've got it here. Now, it doesn't look like a great deal, but my God, was it fiddly. So this is what we built in issue 2. So we've got the turret there. It's looking lovely, but my God, was it fiddly. I mean, it was ridiculously small scale, and it reminded me more of an Airfix or a Revel model than it did of a part work. Now, I've got conflicted feelings about that. I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think that's a bad thing at all, because naturally a Revel kill, something that's going to have a lot of detail to it. But I want a part work. So there is a little concern there, because I'm thinking, well, if it is going to be that identical to one, I'd just buy one of those. Know what I mean? So it's not a bad thing. I mean, it's a good thing. But at the same time, I just found it a little odd, because I thought, I don't know, I just found it a little unusual. But it was good. I mean, it looks lovely. Those micro LEDs do light up, so the tips of the machine guns light up, and it's a nice one. But it was, my God, was it was fiddly. But I'm prepared for it now. This is the thing. I think I wasn't ready for that. So when it turned up, I was like, oh Jesus, and I wasn't ready for it. I'm now ready for it. So I'm expecting that with every issue. That might not happen, because this is the weird thing. When they do their first 4. Because these were the trial parts, they also run like their survey, where they in line with it, they ask, what do you think of it, and blah 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 blah. What you tend to find is things change, because I know the Disney Dolls house, the first 4 of that we built were probably the hardest parts of the Dolls house to build, are the first 4 parts, the trial parts, and we never went into that much detail again. We built the front doors, which we still haven't fit to the house, over 2 years ago. But they were really complex. So you had to cut and sand and whatnot to make the outer decorative elements of the doors. And we never went into that detail again. And I would imagine, because their survey, people probably said it was too complicated. They didn't want it as complicated as it was. That's not to say that Disney Dolls house isn't detailed, but we never went into that level of detail again with any other door in the house. We just didn't. So I don't know. I don't know if all of the Lancasters is going to be like this, or if it's just the first 4 parts. I don't know, but it'll be fun finding out, right? But it looks lovely. So part 3 is out today. It's in shops, but I mean, I've got to wait for the subscription. I can't keep buying from the shop, so I've got to stop that. So the cockpit and part of the fuselage is out today. But when ours arrives, we'll be getting 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's what will be coming in our first one. And those are due to ship on the, I want to say the 2nd of February. I'm pretty sure it's the 2nd of February. In fact, I'm certain it's the 2nd of February. If it isn't, it's because I'm thinking of I'm doubting myself. I actually think I'm completely wrong. I think it's the 22nd of January, and I think the Tumblr is the 2nd of February. And Tumblr's looking nice now. We spoke about this last time, but Tumblr's looking good as well. We finally got to where we're making car, which is nice. And there isn't loads to the Tumblr, there isn't. But again, I'm all right with that. Again, part of the reason why I do part works is because time is a luxury I don't have. And as much as I'd love to be able to dedicate hours to a scratch build or a Revel or an Airfix, or I don't have it. I just don't have it. And I like to be able to do models or at least parts in a sit-in. You know, I don't really like to walk away from something and come back to it, because I've got a nasty habit of not coming back to it. So yeah, it's an unusual one, but I'm kind of all right. I don't need it to be like overly complex with each one. I know a lot of people do. They want more parts, but it's like Titanic. So Titanic is shipped, and it should be here this weekend, I would imagine. If it's not here in the next couple of days, it'll be here by Saturday. But I know the next 4 parts of Titanic, the work is light, like really light, but significant. So we're doing the back end of the hull, but it is 4 parts of the hull. So I know that the work involved in that is going to be really light. It's going to be a handful of screws to attach each part, and then we're done. But it's incredibly significant because it means we're coming to the end of that hull. But there won't be a lot to do. But I'm kind of okay with, again, I'm kind of okay with that, as long as it's not every single bloody issue. That's when it's a killer. But I'd be interested. Do you want more and more and more each part, or do you want, you know, a manageable sort of bite-sized amount, or do you want a kind of a mix? I like a mix. I like it where, you know, you've got some big pieces, but there's not much to do. But I also like it when you do get down into the little bits. I do like that. I just don't want all of one. I like variety, man. Variety is the spice of life, which I'm doing so many models at any given time. Speaking of which, I'm looking at one at the moment. I'm in the middle of building the Funhole Sheriff's Office. It's beautiful. It's really nice. And that will be on the channel tomorrow. I've also got a castle, and that will be on the channel on Sunday, I think. Don't hold me to that. I am having a massive Disney binge this weekend, so I've got a bunch of Doll's House I've got to catch up on. I've still got a backlog from Christmas I haven't caught up on because Christmas got so busy. I've still got a backlog of stuff I've got to catch up on, so I need to just burn through the Doll's House to get back to where I need to be, because I know next week I've got more Doll's House coming, so I don't want this humongous backlog. I need to burn through it. And I have had people give me a nudge going, "Where's the Doll's House in Scott?" And it's like, it's coming. So I've done some already. I haven't finished editing, and that's just me. I mean, they were done before Christmas. That's just me being Bernard and letting things get in the way. What else did we do? We also built. I got Booknook for Christmas from my wife. It's a beautiful thing. Is this one? That's the Garden House Booknook. It's lovely. It's lovely, and it took about 6 hours, I'd say, to build. It is the simplest of all the Booknooks. And I kind of had the daggers out for this one because, for me, it looked too much like a Row Life room condensed into a Booknook, and I wasn't happy about that. But having built it, I was wrong. And I will put my hands up and say I was wrong. Because it was. It's not a Row Life room condensed to Booknook at all. It is very much a Booknook. It is its own thing. It's very different to Row Life rooms. And I enjoyed building it. You see, I've still got the Christmas decorations up. There's definitely trolls in here now. There's definitely trolls. I just haven't taken that stocking down. So I'm going to be troll invaded. But the Booknook was lovely. So that's 6 of the 7 available that we've done. I am getting the 7th. There is a 7th Row Life Booknook called the Shakespeare Library. That's ordered, so that's on its way. And I have got that, hopefully, I'm supposed to, best laid plans of mice and men, right? I'm supposed to have a free weekend this weekend where I ain't got to do anything. I ain't got to go anywhere, I ain't got to do anything. And the plan is just have a massive model binge. That's what I want to do. It's going to be fun if I'm allowed to do it. And I plan on building my next Booknook, which is the detective agency. And that looks interesting because it's the first 2 floored Booknook I've built. And it's also got movement in it as well, which is weird because normally Booknooks don't have that. They're just static. They have lights, but very rarely do they have anything moving inside them. Well, this one does. So it's going to be interesting to see how that one pans out. I've got a bunch of stuff on order. Models that are fairly unique. I'm not going to tell you what they are. What we're going to do is we're going to build them on the channel. We're not going to name them for the first week that they're up. So there'll be mystery builds. So you can see them being built and see if you can figure out what they are whilst we're building them. But they're fun, man. They look like they're going to be nice. And part of that is to see, are these any good? I kind of get quite a lot of, are these any good? Are these any good? Do you recommend this brand? I'm like, I don't know. I don't buy every single brand. And I do suffer from a little bit of brand snobbery, but I'm trying to broaden my horizons. So when it comes to Booknooks and wooden models, I've been very much Row Life and Roker, and that's it. And I wouldn't stray from them. But I keep seeing things where I'm thinking, I quite like the look of that. And I can't let this fear that it's going to be bad stop me from buying it, because if I did that, I would never have bought a Roker or Royal Life model to begin with. So I'm going to try it and see if it's any good. So I'm going to try some different brands and see what I think of them. It's one of those things that's easy to get set in your way, you know? And I do need to broaden my horizons, because Funhole's a good example of that. I mean, it's like, if it wasn't Lego, I thought, oh, it must suck. How wrong was I? Because they're better, dare I say it? I think they're fantastic. They might not have the licenses that Lego have, but the engineering in the model is stunning. And my snobbery would have stopped me from going for, you know, something that wasn't Lego, the brand. And it's like, so brand loyalty to models just isn't there. I mean, at the same time, you use some common sense. If something seems too good to be true, I've seen models for sale on the internet and gone, there's no way. You see these incredibly intricate models and they're like £8, and you're like, there's literally no way that is what's going to turn up. There's no way. Because something that happens quite a lot, and this is something you need to be aware of, particularly if you're looking for something, if it sounds too good to be true, it's because it is. So I've seen things advertised on Facebook Marketplace and places like that I know are false. And the reason why I know they're false is because I do follow a lot of artists and a lot of miniature builders, model builders and resin builders. And I've seen things they've done on their channel that you then start seeing appear and they go, you can get this for $19.99. I'm like, no, you can't, because there's one of those that exists. I watched the guy build it and it cost him about £500 to do. So there's no way that is what's turning up. So you're going to get some half-assed version of that, and be careful of it. I mean, a good example of this is I've been very slowly collecting Christmas ornaments for my for the Christmas tree of the Gremlins, made by a company called Nemesis. Now, they're not particularly expensive, but we buy like one a year, and then, you know, eventually we'll have a bunch of Gremlins on the tree. But they're really nice. They're very detailed builds. They're painted lovely. They're gorgeous. And they're about 20 quid for one of these. But then, which is why, you know, you're not going to go out and buy 100 quid's worth. We just buy one a year. But you will find sites on Amazon where and this is where Amazon shouldn't be doing it. Amazon should know better. And Amazon is if it's reported, they should remove it. But they don't. These same ornaments get advertised, and it's like a set of 6 for like £12. And you go, there's no way. There's no way. And then I went and read the reviews of them, and what it was they were literally taking a screenshot of the ornament, cutting it out, and sending you a laminated cardboard picture of the ornament to hang on your tree. And you got 6 of those for 12 quid. So basically, you bought a sheet of cardboard for £12. It's naughty, right? But you've got to be careful. I suppose someone's got to be Yuri Gagarin, so I don't mind going first on some of these and going, yeah, this sucks, or actually this is really good. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm not going to tell you what they are. You can see what they are, and as we build them, you can see if you can figure them out. But they're going to be fun. Or they're going to be awful, but either way, I'm bound to tell you. So yeah, that's what's happening with that. In model news, a lot of Fan Homes models are closed to new subscribers, or are closing to new subscribers. America seems to be particularly affected by this, I would imagine, because this stuff ships from Europe. And I would imagine there's some holding area in warehouse in America somewhere, and they don't want to ship more stock to hold it there. So that's why it's ended there first. But the knock-on will be eventually when like European stock runs down, it'll stop here as well. Now, none of these are particularly... Well, I mean, there's one or two that are quite surprising, but most of them are kind of, yeah. So R2-D2 has closed to new subscribers. Now, if you wanted to do it, you should have done it by now. I mean, it's that model's been around for, it's got to be 7 years. It's got to be. And it's gone away and come back twice. So that is now closed to new subscribers. You can't new sub to R2-D2. If you're already subbing to it, your sub will finish. You'll get all of it. But the new subs, no, they're not doing it. And again, that's been around for years. We've not finished ours. We've still got ours, and we stopped. So it's sometimes building with Jack, and I'm not going to go into detail, but we had to stop. Jack was getting a bit overwhelmed with the amount of stuff that he was doing, because Jack is like the world's busiest kid. I've mentioned this before, and I promised him, like, I'm not going to build it without you, mate. So if it's got to go on hold for a little while, it'll go on hold for a little while. So we've got all the bits to him. We just haven't finished him. I just didn't want to. He was getting overwhelmed with the amount of stuff he had to do. And I'm like, well, okay, let's buy some time. And what I don't want to do is on his free nights go, right, now we got to go do this. You know, it should be something fun. So I don't care if it takes us 2 years to finish that thing, or if it takes us 2 months. He's my priority, not making a video of it. He's my priority, his enjoyment. So maybe we'll never make the rest of the videos of it. I mean, we will show you eventually when it's made. But yeah, it's important, you know. And this is the weird thing for me when it comes to model building, particularly with making videos. And other kind of YouTubers will probably understand what I'm saying. Sometimes the complexity of making these is a rod that we've made for our own back, because it's kind of like when I was doing the parts of the Lancaster. What made it so hard was I was trying to film it. That's what made it hard. Now, if I could have held it in front of my face and done it, it would have been easy. But what makes it difficult for us, anyone that's filming this, is we're trying to do it whilst filming it as well. So we're conscious of a camera filming it, and so it makes it difficult. So I don't know. I mean, part of me wants to do a part where that just isn't filmed, that I don't film that. I just kind of make one, you know, and enjoy it, because it's I mean, I enjoy doing the videos. That's not what I mean by that. But what I mean is one where there's no, you know, I don't care if I haven't built it for, you know, months and months and months. I don't have to worry that somebody's waiting to see the next part or anything like that. So I might do that at some point. I might just think, you know what, I'm gonna have an off-channel one and do that. And I wouldn't care if a year's worth built up and then did it, you know. But it's a weird one. It makes it difficult to build whilst you're filming, because you know, you got a camera there. You got to be conscious of where your hands are. You're not blocking the. So it's weird. It's difficult. But that's something we'll address on Ask Me Anything. So Ask Me Anything's coming up soon as well. You do still have time, because we've not written out all the questions yet. So you do still have time. If you want to submit a question for that, and you can literally ask me anything, and I'll answer it within reason. But you can send your questions to billandtheboys@outlook.com, and yeah, we'll add to the partner. If it gets pulled, we'll answer it. Other ones that are coming to an end. DeLorean, I believe, is coming to an end. If it hasn't ended yet, is coming to an end. The ones that were surprising is Optimus Prime, I believe, is closed to new subscribers in America at the end of this month, or it could be even sooner than that. It could be as early as the 20th, but that is coming to an end. So if you want it, get it. I understand. So how's this happened? With license things particularly, a license isn't Ouroboros. It's not just going to keep going. You have a limit. And if they had a 2-year license to Optimus Prime, well, that's it. That's the license is up. So if you wanted it, get it. This is your option. And the other thing is the volume that FanHome were bringing out. I mean, at one point it was one a month, but like, and here's another one, here's another one, here's another one, here's another one. All those licenses cost money, and any company, I don't care what the company is going to look at it and go, right, if we're not selling lots of it, we got to stop it. We're not going to renew this license because the initial, you know, melee has died down. Now, there are ones where I'm thinking, well, maybe you might get a little spike. Like, so there's a new Ghostbusters film coming out in a couple of months, and I would imagine it might spike interest in Ecto-1. Maybe not. But when you see what FanHome have already brought out over the past 12 months, and from what I've heard, what they plan over the next 12 months, that's a lot of licenses. So you have to be realistic about how much stock they're going to hold of something, and also that everything naturally has its kind of... It's like E.T., for example. I would imagine E.T. has peaked, right? So subscriptions and interest in E.T. has probably peaked. There might be a little spike about 3 months from now when the first builders have gone and it's looking good. There might be people who actually want that, and it will spike a little bit. But then eventually it will die off. That's what's going to happen. It doesn't mean these things won't come back. I mean, look at the Millennium Falcon. That disappeared for like 3 years, I think 4 years. And then all of a sudden Millennium Falcon came back and a new generation of builder can jump on it. And I wouldn't be surprised to see that trend continue. I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe a Black Pearl or something come back at some point. But everything's got shelf life. So if you want it, get it. I mean, that's my advice. I know it's not always that simple if the finance isn't there, but typically these things don't stick around forever. They can't, because you can't, FanHome and whatnot can't just have this endless library of parts. And when you're left to a handful of subscribers, you got to have a minimum order quantity of these things for a manufacturer, and if it's not there, it's not there. So that's just how it's going to work. So there's a couple of others. They escape me off the top of my head. I think Iron Man's still going though. I'm quite surprised Iron Man's license hasn't come to an end yet. I'm fairly sure Iron Man is still going, but I think maybe the Gauntlet is coming to an end. I don't know. It's if you want these, go and have a look, because they are they are advertising these things are closing. So if there's one you've had an eye on for a while, don't waste any more time. Go get it, or accept the fact that you missed it. That's the way it's got to be. Hachette have done this for years. I mean, I don't know why we're finding it confusing that Fanhome are doing it, because Hachette, one and done. I mean, on pretty much every model Hachette run is one and done. It runs its duration and then it's done. You never see it again unless it ends up somewhere else. So like the Route Master moved over to Agora, or the Terminator moved over to Agora. Unless they go over there, they typically just vanish. They've gone into the ether. We don't see them again. We'll never know if Eagle Moss were going to do that, because they weren't around long enough to find out. But yeah, if you want it, get it. If you haven't got it yet, well, you didn't want it that badly, did you? That's kind of how I feel about the DeLorean. I still would I'd love to build the DeLorean, because it's the one that got away from me. I've heard it's a bloody nightmare, but it's the DeLorean, so it's like, so I'm conflicted over that one. But yeah, I don't know if I ever will. It wouldn't take much for me to go, actually, I'll get the DeLorean. But at the same time, I'm at peace with it. If I wanted it that badly, I'd have got it by now, So that's where I am with DeLorean. I would have got it again if Eagle Moss hadn't have gone, belly up. I did subscribe to it. It just never turned up. So if they hadn't have gone belly up, I would have done it. But I did when it just wasn't coming through for them, I moved over to Fanhome and did the Iron Man through them instead. So yeah, it's if you want something, don't delay. I mean, you got about 12 months to get something, I'd say, and then beyond that, you're rolling the dice and taking a chance there if you wait any longer. ETs have started turning up, so I've seen lots and lots and lots of people have received their ETs now. He looks lovely. He looks really nice. There's nothing to do in issue 1. That is weird, right? So issue 1 of ET, there is no build at all. You receive his face, and that's it. So it is a nice piece. I mean, it's a nice big piece of skin, but it's there's nothing to do. I find that really odd that in a part 1 that's what they went with. Nothing to do in part 1. You just literally open it. That's it. But I think I don't know. I mean, again, I really want to build ET, really want to build him. Because I just think he's a very unique model, I do, compared to the other ones that have come out, I think, with the sensors and whatnot. And looking at the body, I'm very curious to see how that's going to go together. But I'm having to live vicariously through others. Penny at Penny's Pit Stop is building ET. So when her first one goes up, I'll drop a link into one of my videos so you can go over there and see it. You know what? I'm going to put Penny's link down below. Click on that, subscribe to her, and then when ET comes up, well, you'll see it, won't you? That's the easiest way to do it. What have we been watching? We've been watching lots, man, loads. So we've been watching, I think most of the nation at the moment, The Traitors. We love The Traitors. I was going to tell you something about The Traitors, but I better not. No, I won't. That's a story for another day. Film-wise, we haven't really watched anything. We are back on television. We watched all of Echo. Echo was really good. I really enjoyed Echo. I thought it was fantastic. Really good. What else did we watch? We watched a movie, and for the life of me, I can't remember what it was. But we've just been watching a lot of very odd TV at the moment, and it's been nice, man. It's been really nice. So I've had the most chilled week since Christmas, but at the same time, work has been manic. But chill wise, it's been quite nice. It's been nice to catch your breath after Christmas. It's been lovely. But me and Oz watched. We're back on The Walking Dead. It feels like that's never going to end. Because I've gone around it once before. It's like, wow, it feels like this just won't end. So it's been that's been a lot. But no, we also watched on Netflix. I watched American Nightmare. It's really good. The less you know about it, the better. It's a good documentary, but if you get a chance to see that, check it out. It's well worth your time. It really is. American Nightmare. Trust me, you'll like it. I do like a good documentary. I don't know if that's me getting older or what, but I tend to enjoy documentaries more than movies these days. And I'll watch documentaries about anything. I mean, we're quite lucky in the UK. If you ever got a chance to see Storyville, which used to be on BBC Two, which I think is now on BBC Four, it's just a random documentaries. And I got into just watching it. So it's like, I wouldn't even look up what it was. I'm like, whatever it is, I'm going to watch it. And I watched documentaries about everything from the last roller skating rinks closing down in America, which was the United States of America. That was fantastic. I saw a documentary about Iceberg Slim. I saw one that broke my heart called Triskaidekaphobia. They're fantastic. And what I liked about it was you never knew what it was going to be. You had no idea what the documentary was going to be about, but they were all done so well that even if it was a subject I had no interest in, I loved them. I thought they were really good. We have got lots coming up as always. You can, as I said, you can still ask me anything. We will have tomorrow, because I will finish this tonight, we will have the Sheriff's Office up. It's a nice one, trust me, it's a really nice one. Spoilers. We will have lots of Disney Doll's House over the weekend. We will have Titanic. If Titanic arrives this weekend, we will have it, because it's not going to take me long to do the Titanic at all. So there will be 4 Titanics up when that arrives. And there will be a Booknook. Sounds like a lot, right? But I can't wait. It's going to be nice. We're swimming in chocolate, just being left alone in here, listen to Motown and disco and building. I'm curious of that as well. I keep meaning to ask you, do any of you listen to music when you build? And if so, what do you listen to? Because I've got like my playlist, and I'd be very interested to know what your playlist is. And I'd like to hear your playlist. If you've got like a Spotify playlist of this is what I build models to, I'd like a link to it. And I'll tell you what I'll do. If you want it, let me know. A link to what I listen to. I'll give you a link to what I listen to. You can hear what I hear when I build models, but it might surprise you. That's all from me. You can contact us at buildingtheboys@outlook.com. If you haven't yet, please remember to like and subscribe. It helps us massively. We'll be back this weekend with an absolute ton of stuff for you. And until then, in a world where you can be anything at all, just be nice. I got to take some Christmas decorations down before the trolls get me. But until next time, take care and I'll see you soon.